Dear students, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you? I hope best for you. I Mukesh Kumar welcomes you to online Mukesh Online Academy. आपका मुकेश ऑनलाइन एकेडमी में स्वागत है. And we are doing the chapter 12 of class 10 NCERT book, that is the electricity that we are doing. And we have already covered about the introduction of the electricity that we did in the first video. And we did the electric current in the second video, about the electric current, how to measure it, and third about the electric potential we did. If you have not seen those videos, I have given the links in the description, so you go through those videos, then definitely this video will be even more beneficial for you. Okay, so now one tip, as I usually give into my all videos, about the best preparation. So whenever you are watching any video of the study related or any education related material thing you are doing, either at home or anywhere, keep a notepad or notebook and pen with you and write the key points, short notes. Okay, so this way you will prepare the summary of the whole chapter, and it will be very more beneficial to you when the exams come. So because then at that time you can revise that into a very short period of time. Okay, so I hope you will be preparing the summary and will be benefiting from the videos. Okay, and if you have any query, if you have any doubt, then you can also write to me on the WhatsApp, or you can write to me on the mail, or you can write in the comment box also. So we will definitely solve your query. If you want to have free notes for all the chapters, then also you can write to me on the WhatsApp or mail, or if you want to have the live online classes, then you can also write to me on the WhatsApp or email. Okay, so in this video we will do about the electric circuits, different symbols that we use in the electric circuits, and what is the need of the electric circuits, and some electric circuit diagrams that we will study in this video. Okay, so now let's start. So dear students, in this part we will do about the electric circuits. Okay, in the previous three parts we have done in the first one we have done about the introduction, in the second we did about the electric current, and the third we did about the electric potential. So now in this one we will do about the electric circuits and what are the different symbols and how to draw electric circuits, so that we will study in this part. Okay, so first comes what is electric circuit. So we will do first electric circuit. Okay, so electric circuit is basically a closed and continuous path of an electricity. Okay, that means in an electric circuit different instruments or different appliances are interconnected with the source of electricity along with a switch. That makes an electric circuit. Okay, so what do we have here? A continuous and closed path of an electric current is called a electric circuit. Okay, so path has to be continuous and path has to be closed, so that will make an electric circuit. Okay, and it consists of wires, it consists of the appliances, it consists of a switch. Okay, so it consists of electrical devices, then source of electricity. Okay, so in any electric circuit we have electrical devices and source of electricity which are connected by the connecting wires. Okay, so there is another way of defining it, like a continuous conducting path consisting of wires and other resistances like electric bulb, etc., and a switch between the two terminals of a cell or battery, along with an electric current flow is called an electric circuit. So let's write the another definition. So in the second definition, that what we can do, that a continuous and conducting path consisting of wires and other resistances, and these resistances can be resistor or it can be like bulb, fan, okay, and a switch between the two terminals of a cell or battery along which an electric current flows is called an electric circuit. So we can define this in the two different ways. So first way is the given in the above, and second way is given down. So in any of these two ways we can define the electric circuits. So let's see how then electric circuit can we make. See, suppose this is a fan, okay, and this is connected to a, let's say, a cell or battery, okay, one end, and this other end is connected to the key. This is key, and this is connected to the fan, okay. So this becomes a electric circuit. So here the current is flowing, okay, the current is flowing from here, 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 and here the current is flowing. Clear? So this is the path, or this is called the electric circuit. So this is how we can design the electric circuit also. So now here we have seen that we have taken the fan shape, we have taken the cell, we have taken the key shape. Now instead of taking the shape, we can draw some symbols. So we will use the symbols, or we will learn the symbols that can be used in the electricity to represent the different electric components and different electric circuits. Okay, symbols of different components or commonly used components in electricity. Okay, so first we will start with the electric cell. First, the symbol of cell. In this we have to draw one simple line, okay, one small but thick line, and we show the connecting wire to both the sides. This is the positive terminal, this is the negative terminal. So this is the symbol of cell, in which we have to draw one big line, one small line, and small line has to be thick, and we draw the two connecting wires on both the sides, and the big line is the positive terminal, and the smaller line, which is a thick line, is a negative terminal of the battery. Okay, just like this. See, this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal. So this way we show the cell. Okay, and second is the battery. Okay, so to draw the battery we need to draw several cells like this one, and then this one, and to draw the, and then we have to connect them into the series one after the another. So this is a battery. Here it is the positive terminal, here it is the negative terminal. So it is a battery with two cells. Okay, just like this. Suppose if we are drawing the battery with the two cells, then we have to, as we have learned in the class 6th, 7th, 8th. So this is the positive terminal, this is the negative, and again if we have to join the another battery, then we just join the positive terminal of the other cell into the negative terminal of the other battery. Okay, so this is the positive, negative, and these two remains free. So this is the battery with the two cells. Okay, now if we want to make the battery with the three cells, then we can draw the three cells. If we want to make the battery with the four cells, then we can draw the four cells in the same way. Okay, now what if we want to draw the battery with the 20 cells? It is very difficult to draw. Okay, so how can we draw the battery with the 20 cells? See, to draw the battery with the 20 cells, we will draw two cells, then we will draw some dots. Okay, then again we will draw the two cells. So this is the battery with, this is the positive terminal, this is the negative terminal, and this is a battery with 20 cells. Okay, so this is how we can draw the battery with 20 cells, 10 cells, 50 cells, 40 cells. This is the way that we can draw anything. Okay, now what is the purpose of the battery? Basically, what does the battery do? Basically, it provides the current, or it provides the potential difference that we have studied in the last. Okay, so how can we define the battery? That battery is a combination of cells, is a combination of cells. Okay, and what we do is basically the negative terminal of first cell is connected to positive terminal of next cell, and so on. So by joining positive negative positive negative positive negative, we can draw the cell, we can draw the so many battery with the so many cells. Okay, clear? Now see, positive terminal of the first cell and negative terminal of the last cells are free, which are joined to some appliance. Okay, so positive terminal of the first cell and negative terminal of the last cell are free and connected to appliances. Clear? Okay, in the symbol of one cell, long line is thin and short line is thick. Okay, and so this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal, and then both lines have horizontal lines on their sides. Okay, so this is how we can represent the battery with and cells with many number of cells. Okay, I hope this will be clear to you. If it is not clear, then you can write your query in the comment box. Now the next thing comes the switch. The third symbol is the switch. Okay, the switch is the same thing that we get in our homes. That is also a switch. It is also known as the key. So key and switch both are the same thing. Okay, so how do we draw this? Basically there are the two different ways of drawing it. First, we can draw it by just making a two brackets. Okay, or by drawing the lines. Okay, so this is also the switch basically, and this is a open key. This is open key. Okay, so we can draw this way or this way. Both way we can draw the switch or key, and these are the open. Open means switched off. In our language, what we call it at home, switch off. When it is switched off, there will be no current flowing in it. There will be no current flowing in the circuit. Okay, and the circuit will not be complete. Clear? And now let's draw the closed key. See, if we just put a dot inside it, then it becomes a closed key. So this is a closed key. Okay, closed key means switch on. That means we have made the switch on. Now the current will flow, or we can draw this way. So both lines, actually we have brought this point to this point. Okay, we have brought this point to this point. That means, so this point which was free, now we have put this point to this point, so this becomes closed. Okay, so this way we can draw the closed. Clear? So this is a closed key. So how can you define the switch? Basically, a switch makes a connecting link, okay, for the electric circuit. So a switch makes a connecting link between cell and bulb. Okay, so this is how we can define the switch or key. Now the next one, the fourth one is a wire joint. See, wire joint means when we join two wires, like suppose if this is one wire, this is another wire. Okay, so then we just join like this. Okay, so this is the wire joint. So wire joint is represented as like this is the one wire, this is another wire, and then at the joint we will put the dot. So this is the wire joint. Now fifth is wires crossing without joint, means they are crossing over. Wires crossing without joining means they are crossing over. Okay, So that means suppose if the one wire is coming like this, another wire is coming like this, so they are crossing over, they are not joined. So we can draw this diagram like this. Okay, so this is the wire which is crossing this, so we have just in the crossing wires. Okay, next is electric bulb. So the electric bulb is where we get the light. So we can represent this like this way. So this is the way of representing the electric bulb. Okay, the bulb sign, and then so the filament and the circle. So this represents the bulb. This is the positive. This is the negative. Or we can represent like this also. Or we can represent like this also. So any of the sign we can use for the bulb. If the bulb glows, see here the bulb is not glowing. If the bulb glows, then we will put the light sign also like this. So this shows the bulb is glowing. Previously it was not glowing, now it is glowing. Okay, after this we have the fixed resistance. Seventh is fixed resistance. See, why do we use the fixed resistance? To limit the current in the circuit. Okay, that we will study later in this chapter. And the resistances are used to limit the current, just like the wires that we use, like the heater wires. They are the resistance wires. They provide the heat. So how do we represent them? We represent them by the zigzag lines. See, this is the fixed resistance. Okay. Now, eighth is a variable resistance. Variable resistance, it is also called the rheostat. Okay, so first, so how does it look like? See, it is like a cylinder. It is like a cylinder over which a slider moves. Okay, over which a slider moves, and this is the stand of it. So this rheostat. See, the variable resistance is like a cylinder over which a slider moves. Okay, when we move the slider, then it changes the resistance and thereby changes the current and potential difference. And this is shown in the symbolic form as just like the resistance, and this is the slider, or just like the resistance and a arrow between them. So this is the symbol of variable resistance and or rheostat. Okay, so now let's do some description of the variable resistance. See, what is the variable resistance basically? Actually, suppose if we have the fixed source of electricity, so that means we cannot change the potential difference in that time. Okay, but we need to change the current in the circuit. So how can we achieve it? By using the variable resistance rheostat. See this slider, when we move this slider, okay, so then it changes the resistance, and when it changes the resistance, then it changes the current in the circuit, and when the current in the circuit is changed, then it will change the potential difference also. Okay, let's say suppose if we bring the slider here. Okay, so let's say in this condition the resistance becomes too high, so the current will become very low. So here the current will become very low. When the current becomes very low, see here the current will become very low. When the current becomes very low, that means it will reduce the potential difference. We have not changed any kind of cell or any battery, but we have reduced the current just by using this variable resistance. Now we start sliding into a back. When we start sliding back, that means its resistance will keep on decreasing, and when the resistance keep on decreasing, that means the current will keep on increasing, so the potential difference will also keep on increasing. Here it has the minimum resistance, here it has the maximum resistance, and here it has the minimum resistance. So when it has the minimum resistance, then the current through it will be very high, okay, maximum, and the potential difference will also be the maximum. So that means the variable resistance is changing the magnitude of current by changing the resistance without changing the cell or battery. Okay, so that is why we also call it as a potential divider. Okay, so it is also used as a potential divider. Okay, now the next is ammeter. Ammeter we have studied in the second video. Okay, so ammeter we also already know that it is used to measure the current in the circuit. And how do we draw it in the circuit? Just a circle in which we write A, and both of side we have the lines. Okay, and it is the positive terminal and it is the negative terminal. And then we draw the voltmeter. So voltmeter we have studied in the last video that it is a device to measure the potential difference across the terminals of a conductor. Same way we have to draw this also. Draw a circle, write V, and draw two lines, one positive and other negative. This is how we draw the voltmeter. Okay, and the last one is galvanometer that we can use. Okay, galvanometer will not be used in this chapter. It will be used in the next chapter. So here how do we make it? Circle G and two lines. Okay, and it has a pointer also. Clear? So this is the symbol of galvanometer. Basically the galvanometer is used to detect the current and to find the direction of the current which is flowing into the circuit, induced current, that we will study into the next chapter. Okay, so these were about the symbols that we commonly use into the electric circuit. Now, what is the need of it? Why do we need the symbols? Okay, so let's do the need of the symbols. Need of electric symbols. Okay, so reason. Suppose if you want to draw a fan, AC, heater, bulb, there are so many appliances used at home. So it will be very difficult to draw the original diagrams in the circuit diagrams. So that is why rather than using the original diagram, we just use the symbols so that we can come to know what thing is connected and how are they connected by in a different circuit. Okay, so again let's explain it, the need of electrical symbols. Okay, so the in electric circuits, as I told you, we have the different components, we have different appliances, like we have the ACs, we have the fridge. There are so many things that we have in our home. There are different circuits. Okay, so if we draw the actual sketches of them, then it will be very difficult. It will not be easy to draw and it will be very cumbersome to read the circuit basically. So that is why we have, scientists have devised the symbols, and these are called the electrical symbols. Okay, so this is the need of electric symbols. Now the circuit diagram. See, the different electric circuits have different devices, as I told you in the beginning also, and they are interconnected also. So how they are connected into the different combinations and how they are connected to each other. So this is shown by the circuit diagram. Okay, so we can define it like that, a diagram in which indicates how different components are connected in a circuit by using electrical symbols. Then it is called the circuit diagram. So let's draw the diagrams, simple diagrams. Let's draw that. Already you have drawn these diagrams in the class 6. So now let's draw them again. A simple circuit diagram. Suppose this is a bulb that we have used. Okay, and this is a battery that we have used. I hope this is the simple diagram that we have used. Okay, and the bulb is glowing because it is directly connected to the battery. Clear? Now if we keep it just like this, then bulb will keep on glowing. So what we can do, see, this is the cell and this is the bulb. Now what we can do, we can incorporate a switch into it. This is the switch. We call that key also. Okay, clear? Right now it is open. When it is open, then no current is flowing through it. So we have not shown any kind of, see here we have to show the current flowing. So here we do not have any kind of current flowing through it, and the bulb is not glowing. And let's say I just close it. Now it is closed. So now when it is closed, so the current will flow from the positive terminal to the negative terminal of the battery cell. Okay, so the current will flow like this and this bulb will start glowing. So this is the very simple diagram of a circuit that we can make. Okay. Now we have to measure how much current is flowing through it. So let's incorporate some more thing here. This is the cell, this is the key, and this is now we have incorporated ammeter. Okay, this is the ammeter. So to connect the ammeter, the positive and this positive should be on one side, and this negative and the negative ammeter of the negative one should be on the same side. And ammeter is connected in series. So now again, since no key is closed, so that means no current is flowing, so the ammeter will show the value 0. Now we close the key. So this is the close key. Now the current will start flowing. Okay, and the bulb will grow, and the ammeter will show reading or will measure the current. Clear? Now the next thing that we can have, how much potential difference is there. So to see that how much potential difference is there, what can we do? We can join the voltmeter also here. Okay, now we have incorporated voltmeter in the parallel. So same positive and positive should come here. So negative and negative should come here. So now it is in the parallel. Okay, so the voltmeter is also connected. So whatever potential difference is there across this bulb, it will be shown into this voltmeter. Okay, or instead of bulb, we can use the resistor also. See, let's draw the diagram with the resistor. See, this is the resistor. This is by connecting wire, it is connected to a cell. Okay, and this cell is connected to the key, and this key is connected to the ammeter, and this is connected to the voltmeter. So this is the voltmeter pin parallel, this is the ammeter in series, this is the key. So draw the symbols. See, the positive and positive should be here, this is negative, negative should be here, this positive should be here, this negative should be here, and this is the resistance R. And this is the key is now is closed, so the current will start flowing through the resistors. This is how we can see the show the diagram. Okay, clear? So students, I have one question for you, that a direct electric current is flowing into a circuit from east to west direction. What will be the direction of the flow of electrons? See, the current is flowing from east to west. That means the electrons will flow from west to east direction, opposite to the flow of current. So students, today we have learned about the circuit. What is an electric circuit? Okay, what are the different electrical symbols and their definitions and their uses we have learned, and we have learned about the circuit diagrams, how to draw the simple circuit diagrams. Okay, so students, I hope you would have understood it. It would have cleared your doubt. Okay, so students, we will study in the next video about the Ohm's law. Okay, so how can we verify it, and what is the Ohm's law, and what is the formula, that we will study into the next video. So thank you so much for watching. Write your comments about the video or any query, any doubt about the topic in the comment box, or you can write your query on my mail ID or on the WhatsApp. I have given that into the description box. Okay, if you have liked the video, then share it with your friends. If you want to do the live online classes, then also you can write to me on the WhatsApp or mail. Or if you want to have the free notes, then you can also write to me on the WhatsApp or mail. So definitely we will be happy to serve you. So thank you so much for watching.